Hey everyone, welcome! Welcome to episode 5 of A Drop of Sunshine. I'm Daphne DeLorean, and today we're talking about forgiveness. Purpose exists in everything and everyone. If you're listening to this right now, you're gifted with a beating heart and a very particular purpose. We were all created uniquely with gifts and talents no one else on this earth has, and one of the biggest tragedies is passing through this life without meaning or purpose. Most of us are influenced by family, friends, or other relationships on what we're supposed to do with our life or who we're supposed to be. This affects our careers, hobbies, and relationships. I don't have all the answers, but my mission is to help bring you truth and closer to your purpose, one drop at a time. Hey everyone, welcome! Welcome to episode 5 of A Drop of Sunshine. And before I begin, I just need to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful for the feedback and just connecting with so many of you on such a personal and deep level. Thank you all so much. If you're listening to this right now, thank you from the bottom of my heart. What are we talking about today? Drum roll, please. And it's going to be forgiveness. And this is a really touchy one. I know. Forgiveness is a hard one to talk about. It's a hard one to really feel, especially when somebody does something intentionally to hurt us. But let me tell you something right now. Nobody is perfect, especially me. I mess up every single day, in fact, multiple times. And sometimes I'll think about something or act in a certain way and say, whoa, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why did you think that? Or why did you judge this person? But the whole key in that is being intentional and catching it and realizing that, okay, let me take a few steps back. That was not okay. And let me overcome this thing here. We are human and we have a fallen nature, but no matter how many times we mess up, God gives us grace. So the question for you, the question for me is, why can we train our minds to forgive one another, give each other grace, heal, bounce back, and move on? Because we're all broken. At the end of the day, we're all going to fall short. So life is honestly too short to hold on to anger or bitterness or live in the past or hold on to resentful moments. Because let me tell you something, when you don't forgive someone, when you don't move on, and when you're not intentional about this, when you hold on to bitterness and resentment, you're only fueling your own poison. And the very thing you want to do by hurting someone else, by resenting them, is actually making you worse off. And think about it. This is really true. Like, when you really think about this and we start getting hyped up about how and why this person hurt us, and then we just keep circling it and justifying it, and then we're actually just hurting ourselves and fueling our own poison as we just let this big ball continue to accumulate of why they're the worst person in the entire world. But this takes intention, and it's a choice. I truly believe forgiveness is a choice. We must choose to forgive someone even when they intentionally hurt us. People are going to disappoint us in life. It's just going to happen. But if we don't forgive, we're only going to hurt ourselves, fueling our own poison, and that is what can lead to detrimental things. 1, harming ourselves. 2, harming the people we love. And 3, potentially even causing long-term physical illness in our bodies, because the resentment only grows. And when you're resentful, when you get stressed, that could lead to alcohol. That could lead to things that are not necessarily good for our bodies, which has long-term effect of disease or potentially even the C word, cancer. But you do have a choice, and you have a choice to forgive somebody. But even before you forgive somebody, I think it's really important that we forgive ourselves of our past and past mistakes, because so many of us live in that of like what went wrong in our life and how we could have done something better, or how we accidentally hurt somebody. And then now we're in the present, and then we're paralyzed and we can't even go into the future because we're just justifying and dwelling on things that don't even matter anymore, our past experiences, and that harms ourselves. It harms the people we love. And it's just all around not good for you or anybody around you. And again, like, we can turn to a few too many glasses of wine, and I've done that in my past, or drugs. I've not ever done drugs, but I have seen that take over really close people in my life, their lives, or hurting other ones that we do love out of our own hurt, which leads to physical, emotional disease, potentially, again, like I said, even cancer later on in life. I've never regretted forgiving someone, but I have regretted not forgiving them sooner. When I choose intentionally to forgive somebody, I feel better and I feel relieved. It's like the weight of the world is off of my shoulders. It reduces my stress, it heals my hurt, and it keeps my momentum going. When you don't forgive somebody, your life is like paused. Your momentum actually stops. It doesn't mean you have to be best friends with them by any means, but it means that you can move on, and you can just move on and let go. And one of the best quotes that I know is, move on, let go, and let God. That doesn't mean, again, that you have to be best friends with them or spill your personal beans to them. It means that you can have a healthy boundary, which is actually needed in many relationships in our lives, but it means you have freedom. You have freedom to move on, forgiving yourself and forgiving other people in your life. But here's the thing, I'm going to point this out. I fall into this as well. We hold people to this unrealistic bar, and we make assumptions, and then we just keep circling and justifying why they're the worst person in the world. But how could they? Right? I get it. I seriously get it. Forgiving is not always easy, and sometimes it's actually one of the hardest things to do. But when we forgive, it does not mean that there's no consequence to their action, or that it was right, or that you don't need healthy boundaries. It's letting go, moving on with a sound mind, and realizing we do not have control over everyone else's heart, words, or action. Like, that is not your responsibility. If somebody hurts you, it's not your responsibility that they hurt you or said something out of line, intended to hurt you. Like, if somebody purposefully pulls you down or hurts you, friend, let me tell you something right now. Nobody healthy who feels loved does that. So I'm going to give you a new perspective. If somebody hurts you intentionally or gossips behind your back, I want you to think about this. They're hurting you because they're hurt. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people. And I've never once met somebody full of love and on fire in their life, like with all this goodness, to tear somebody down. Because when somebody's full and whole, they actually pull somebody up. So when somebody talks behind you, I've actually learned this in a newsroom, especially women. Oh my gosh, women are crazy. Women are crazy and vicious and toxic a lot of times. But there's a missing factor, and the factor is they're not whole and complete, and they want to pull you down to get a reaction out of you because they don't feel loved. So instead of reacting and trying to hurt them back, I'm going to challenge you to actually love them. Even when they hurt you, even when they talk bad about you of things that are not true at all, I'm going to challenge you to love them, because that's the very thing they need. And it's going to be the hardest thing ever. But after you do it a couple of times, it's actually going to feel really good for yourself and for that other person. Okay. So after we forgive them, I'm going to even call you even higher. Like, what if you pray for them? What if you weep for them? That person that intentionally hurt me, actually has a gift and purpose as important and equal to mine. So I want to tell you a story. One time I was in a newsroom, and there's no names here, but somebody continuously kept talking behind my back of things that were completely made up. And multiple people kept coming to me and telling me this one person was talking behind my back and telling me exactly what this person was saying. And my initial response, I'm not even going to call it a response. I'm going to call it a reaction, because I think there's a difference. My initial reaction was like, what the heck? Like, caps lock, what the heck? What's your problem? Who are you? Like, that's our natural inclination, is to react that way. And it was like, why? I've only uplifted this person. I've only encouraged them. I've only cheered them on, even behind their back. Why are they doing this? And so that same day, like it was like the fifth freaking time that somebody came up to me telling me this person is talking behind my back. And I went out to coffee with my friend Sarah, and I was kind of explaining, like, I'm kind of in this pickle, like, why is this person doing this? And how do I, like, help me in this moment? She's like, Daphne, this person has a gift, talent, and person that is as equal to you. And it like really opened my eyes. It was like this aha moment. And she's like, this person has a calling that is as equal to your calling. So as bad as you want to react or like get upset with her and hold this bitterness, you have to let it go. And it was so freeing to truly like sit with my eyes closed and focus on the moment and focus on this person and all the hurt that they've caused me, talking behind my family, talking about behind me, even through my pregnancy. And it was like, okay, I am going to intentionally choose to forgive this person who is in nothing but talk ill will about my family, myself, my pregnancy, all of that. And not only forgive them, but actually pray for them. And I'm telling you, it was the opposite of what I wanted to do, but it was the best thing I could have ever done, because the freedom that came with that, there was no more circling and justifying why she's wrong and how could she and oh my gosh. It was like, I can move on with momentum, and I'm bigger than this, and this girl needs prayer and she needs love. And it was like such an aha moment. And then that was the moment that like made me realize every time that happens in my future, I'm going to choose to forgive them. Because when we don't choose to forgive somebody, we negatively affect ourselves. And then we like keep the contagious unforgiveness, resentment going. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare continue that ball of ripple effect into this world that needs you to be higher, and you're called higher, to forgive and move on. And then your goals and dreams, you'll be surprised, like they actually fall into place in such a better way, and you have no baggage that's like pulling your thoughts throughout the day. Like you can actually focus on what it is you need to focus on, the important things. But I'm going to say something one more time. Like when you wake up in the morning, there are going to be so many thoughts of these kinds of situations, of people that have hurt you in your past, or things that you've done to yourself or other people in the past. But the greatest gift you have is every single day is a new slate, a brand new chapter, a brand new page to start over. So don't ever think about the past of what you should have done or how you couldn't do it or whatever, because that is only going to keep you and prevent you from getting to where you're supposed to be in your vision. So every day you're going to wake up and there are going to be thoughts of your past, thoughts of your future, and all of these thoughts and all of the world just craving your noise. Instagram, Facebook, look at me. Here I am, me. Okay, what does this person need from me? Okay, what about my past? Okay, what about my future? And like so much noise. But if you can conquer this at the start of your day, waking up, and as those thoughts come, doing a scan. Is this good for me, my soul, and my future? Or is this toxic and going to fuel my poison with resentment and bitterness? Is that what I need to let go? And so if you can do this at the beginning of the day and choose that initial thought of goodness, of faith in your vision, you're going to notice it's going to ripple effect into your entire day, into your entire week, into your entire month, into your entire year, and then into your entire life. Like, you have to get into habits of good things. And one of those good things is choosing what you're going to feed your mind, whether it's a positive podcast, whether it's forgiving somebody and letting go at the start of the day, because that's going to fuel the energy and it's going to set the tone for the entire day. And I truly believe what we do at the start of the day ripples effects and sets the tone for the entire day. And your thoughts are going to become your words, and your words are going to become action, and you're going to impact everybody around you. But when you realize it's not about you, it's about other people and serving other people, you get really good at guarding your heart and mind for things that don't support that. Things that are thrown at you that are going to try to keep you in the same place, paralyzed, and toxic things that you're going to want to talk about. And then not only are you paralyzed with your life, but then you affect other people in a negative way. And that's the worst thing you can possibly do in life. So I want to encourage you to catch those thoughts in the beginning of the day and do a scan. Is this good or is this bad? And do I need to forgive myself initially? Where do I need to forgive myself? And who do I need to forgive in my life so that I can move on with my life and get closer to my vision and help serve other people with where I'm called. So I hope this encourages you, and I think you'll notice a significant difference in your life just by choosing to forgive people that even hurt you, because you realize it's not about you, it's about them, because they are actually hurt themselves. And as hard as it is to love somebody who hurts you, there's something so freeing in doing the opposite of what our earthly bodies want us to do, is like react to them. But if you respond with love, they will notice something different about you. And I guarantee you they will stop acting like they are, misbehaving. I don't know if misbehaving is the best word. Acting like a child, foolishly, just gossiping. And you want to really surround yourself with people who don't gossip, because I found myself gossiping, just feeding into other people, because it's like it goes into your subconscious. When you hear somebody gossiping, you naturally want to like make them feel better. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person. Oh, how did they say that to you? But I want to call you higher and challenge you, because as a friend will challenge you to do something better and become the best version of yourself, not agree with something foolish. So as your friend, I'm going to challenge you, the next person who is toxic and gossiping about somebody else, I want to encourage you in a loving way to help them see it in a different light. And if they're talking bad about somebody, like change it around. Say, you know what? Maybe Sally was having a really bad day and we honestly don't know what Sally's going through, and maybe Sally needs love. Maybe you're actually put in Sally's life to be a light to Sally. And so change their perspective and turn that negative and toxic gossip into something positive. And there are some people in our life that we truly have to let go, because they will affect us with that gossip, and then that brings us pulls us 10 steps back from our purpose and our vision, which is too costly just to appease somebody and make them feel better in their resentment and poison. Because a lot of times when they are fueling their own poison, they're going to want you to agree with them so that you can fuel their own poison together. Okay? They want to justify it by pulling you into it. But I'm going to challenge you, 1, to call them higher, 2, discern if they're actually supposed to be in your life. If they constantly weigh you down and they get into your subconscious mind that gossiping is okay, maybe it's time to let it go. And maybe it's time to find better friends who call you higher and not gossip about other people. And, sometimes this took me a little while in my journey in life to figure that out. Who I surround myself with is a game changer. It really is. And there are some people in my life that I know I'm supposed to be in their life to help them in certain ways. But I'm going to share something I've done. And I actually have a grade system. I have an A friend, a B friend, and a C friend. And my C friend needs me, so I'm there for them. And If they don't provide, anything in return, that's okay. And we don't need anything in return from other people. But it's like you don't get hurt in any way if they act up in a certain way. Like there are some people in our life that we are actually supposed to help out. Then there's your B friends and there's your A friends. A friends are like your close people that you need to really invest your time in, that you are there for them. They're there for you. They call you higher. They challenge you. You call them higher. And A, B, and C, your love doesn't change for them, but you kind of know where you are so nobody gets hurt in the situation. But whoever you are, A, B, C, or D, or whatever, that your love for people doesn't change, but you can actually love people, forgive them, not get hurt by their actions, and just move on. Move on. Let go and let God and move on. So before I let you go, I also want to share there are some people in our life that we want things to work out with, okay? Especially family. And I totally understand that because I'm even going through that right now myself. And it's extra hard to forgive and move on because when they're your family, it's like a whole different level of something. But when you intentionally choose to forgive them, even when they've hurt you, you can forgive and have healthy boundaries. But there are some relationships that it's so freaking hard to do this, okay? And this is someone you're listening to right now that has just gone through this. And for me, it's like God is the only person and only thing that can help me through this. And I just recently went through this with someone so close in my life. And no matter how hard I tried to make things work, a relationship is two ways. And I'm still grieving it, but I have found that God is honestly the only person that can help me with this. And so sometimes you just need closure from God, but to do your part and forgive and then give it to God and ask God to help you forgive. Like even after you forgive, if they come back up in your head, like to say, okay, God, go to that place in my heart right now and help me to truly heal from the bottom of my heart, inside and out, and speak life over the situation that one day we can rekindle things or we can make things better again. And our words are so powerful. I believe that's one of the most powerful things we have on planet Earth is to speak life over a situation. So we can choose to speak death or speak life. And you can speak life. You can always choose to speak life. You can always choose to forgive yourself. You can always choose to forgive other people. So I hope this encouraged you. I hope you resonated with it. If you got something out of this message, subscribe, give me a like, give me a review. I want to hear from you. I'm very in tune with Instagram and Facebook. Tag me. Hashtag a drop of sunshine. I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for listening to this. I'm so grateful for the feedback and for connecting with you all on such a personal note. Love and appreciate each one of you. And remember, you're only one drop away.